Exploring the body-mind connection through quantitative blood pressure versus psychological stressor and stroke analysis. Number 1331, VMT Sharp 689, August 21, 2025. Gerald C. EclaireMD Foundation. Category: Psychology and Physiology. Preface: I have been developing and enhancing my own medical AI system, Chronic, since 2002. Between 2010 and 2019, I devoted myself to self-studying diabetes and its complications. At that time, I was struggling with multiple conditions: obesity, type 2 diabetes, retinopathy, neuropathy, including a foot ulcer, cardiovascular disease, and renal complications. These were not just abstract medical terms. To me, they were daily realities I carried with me. To confront them, I poured my efforts into developing my medical AI system, Chronic, focusing first on glucose control and its key lifestyle drivers. I used BMI as a measure of obesity, and FPG, which I consider the most reliable indicator of diabetes severity, as the foundation. To improve prediction accuracy for postprandial glucose, I expanded my model to include each meal's carbohydrate and sugar intake, in grams, and post-meal exercise, especially walking steps. I also factored in several secondary elements, such as weather, stress, sleep, and hydration. This integration of theory, data, and lived experience became the foundation of my medical research work. Description of this study. On June 21, 2025, I was struck by my first stroke. I was 78 years old. For most of my life, I had low blood pressure, and had never been diagnosed with chronic hypertension. Yet aging is relentless, and my pulse pressure told the hidden story of vascular stiffening. It had widened from 38 mm of mercury in 2018 to 50 mm of mercury in 2025. The final blow came during a moment of emotional stress from a business investment dispute. My systolic blood pressure surged to 175 mm of mercury, rupturing blood vessels near the pons region of my brain. In that instant, I crossed into the world of stroke survivors. After being discharged from the hospital on June 27, 2025, I was shaken but determined. I immersed myself in soul-searching and self-reflection, asking why this happened to me. I read more than 3,000 pages of medical books and journal papers, and I wrote over 25,000 words of research papers on stroke, brain function, and related diseases. Out of that urgency came clarity. My next major enhancement to my chronic AI tool would focus on the automatic analysis of blood pressure data, with particular attention to psychological influences and personality traits. During the past 2 months, I have measured my blood pressure 24 to 30 times per day. By July 2026, I will have collected more than 10,000 blood pressure data points. But my goal is not to chase averages or superficial statistical summaries, as conventional methods do. Instead, I plan to analyze all readings above 130 mm of mercury, link them to psychological stressors, and quantify how much each stressor contributes to hypertensive events. My aim is not only to prevent acute incidents, but to uncover under which psychological stresses or personality traits my blood pressure is most vulnerable. In this way, I seek to make the invisible body-mind connection visible, measurable, and actionable. Why this matters? To my knowledge, this type of high-frequency, stress-linked, personalized analysis does not yet exist in medical literature. Traditional approaches rely on occasional clinic visits, sparse lab data, or population-level statistics. These are useful, but they are blunt instruments, too shallow to capture the real-time interplay between mind and body. What I am attempting is fundamentally different. It combines high-frequency, longitudinal data, 24 to 30 measurements per day, yielding more than 10,000 data points in a year. Threshold-based stress linkage, isolating events above 130 mm of mercury, and connecting them to psychological triggers or personality traits. Quantitative body-mind analysis, moving beyond vague claims, like stress raises blood pressure, to actually calculating percentages, correlations, and even energy values that reflect the physiological cost of emotional stress. This is not just data science, it is personal survival transformed into a scientific pursuit. The broader vision. This approach aligns with my viscoplastic medicine theory, VMT, which emphasizes nonlinear, dynamic, plastic, and irreversible stress-strain interactions within the human body. Both vascular stiffness and neuronal activity share these unique characteristics. By applying the same principles of math-physics-based modeling to the mind-body axis, I am opening a new pathway for medical and psychological research. The potential outcomes are profound, identifying causal fingerprints of psychological stress and personality traits, such as type A personality patterns, on vascular stress and brain dynamics, developing predictive markers for stroke or heart attack risk, not after damage has occurred, but before warning signs appear, including details of which psychological triggers are most harmful, establishing a field of quantitative psychophysiology, where stress is no longer vague or soft, but becomes measurable in percentages and energy values. Closing reflection. This project is not only academic, it is deeply personal. A stroke is both a medical event and a wake-up call to me. Through my AI tool of Chronic, built upon mathematics, physics, AI, and biomedicine, I am turning my crisis into a research study, and a software tool that may help others. My body provides the data, my mind provides the discipline, my heart provides the reason, to live longer, healthier, and the care, to help others avoid what I have endured. Within 1 year, I am confident that I will demonstrate results, not yet seen in medical literature. Results where body and mind are no longer treated as separate, but as inseparable partners. A scientific statement and a personal promise. I am working to transform stress, long regarded as vague, soft, or unmeasurable, into hard data, by linking psychological triggers to blood pressure spikes above 130 millimeters of mercury. I am quantifying what medicine has traditionally left as qualitative. To me, this is not just research, it is the opening of a new frontier. Disclaimer, this content is for educational reference only, and not medical advice. No doctor-patient relationship is created. You may share this summary freely, but it must not be edited or republished as your own.